Yo,
PigCake.
we see you dunking on psychics, but we're sick and tired of that, bruh.
We want to see some card tricks, dog.
You want to see some card tricks? You want to see some magic tricks on a magic
Trick channel?
Get the
Fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
So here's a variation of a move that you might like. It's a card control. It's a card control. So we're going to have the participant call stop anywhere they want, hopefully with consent. Let's say they call stop over here on the Jack of Hearts. They remember the Jack of Hearts and that card. I'll tell you what, we'll place that card in the middle, and then we'll place that in the middle of that. So that card is lost very deeply into the pack. What I would like for you to imagine, though, is if you could see through the deck. If you could see through the deck at your card and maybe try to imagine it appearing right here. And you see, if I just wave my hand in a consensual PG fashion, it almost looks like you could see through the deck at your card. But that's impossible because this isn't your card. This is the two of hearts. Unless we give a little shake, a little shimmy, a little crip walk, as they say, and we get to your card, the Jack of Hearts. Careful now. No need to buy a missing piece playing card on EBT. This is just a simple variation of that thing you might have seen done about 100 million times, where they had somebody push the card in the deck and then they sneak it in their mouth, or they use it as a control. This is just the opposite. So if you're familiar with the method, ordinarily you need to deposit a card on top of the card they pick. With this, you don't got to do that. What I suggest you do is for you to check out the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,700 card tricks at this point, going over everything you need to know about card magic, coin magic. You got some mentalism in there. You could check the link in the description section below. So for this, you're going to have the cards stop that as you dribble, or you could riffle, or you could maybe do this. Whatever it is you want, but ultimately they're going to stop at a card and they're going to look at it. Now, when they're looking at it, you're going to do a little sneaky action, which is you're going to stick your little pinky in there as you square up the card with the rest of the deck. So you show them the card, and then you're going to get your little pinky there separating it. Now here, I'm just going to kiss the packets momentarily, just briefly, which allows me actually to lift that card into the face of this pile. So the reason I'm doing this is because I'm just going to tell the participant, oh, I'll tell you what, I want you to push the card in yourself. Push it in yourself with your dirty little finger. And of course, in that action, I've stolen their card back here. So let me go over that one more time. You show them the card, you get your little pinky in there. You're going to bring both piles of cards together, and then you're going to separate them as an afterthought. However, their card is now here, and I'm going to conduct a one-handed fan. Now, this is a very virginal move because you're going to have to learn how to spread the cards evenly in your hand. You don't want to have this little, I would say, lip-tard fan. You also don't want to go full Timothy McVeigh right-wing extremism with the fan either, because then they're going to go, whoa, this guy could do anything with a pack of cards. So just a nice little conservative spread here is all you need. As you say, I'll tell you what, why don't you push it in yourself? Push it in yourself with your dirty little finger. And they could push it in as much as they want. And ultimately, their card is actually here. So how do we control this card? Well, there are a number of ways. You could either just take this fan and place it directly underneath this packet in your hand, which in effect controls their card to the bottom. Or what you could do is what I did in performance, which is seemingly riffling off half of these cards. Really, all I'm doing is just pulling on the lowermost card. So I just pull on that lowermost card and insert this fan in there. Are you having a laugh, mate? Which controls their card second from the face, which allows you to do any color change you want to change this card seemingly into theirs. What I did in performance is I just licked my hand surreptitiously and I used it to rub this card. So all I'm doing is that I'm pressing down with my palm, which lifts this card into my dirty little palm. And now it looks like somehow they could see through the pack and they see their card. Of course, this card is just riding along the fingers here. And then at some point, I'm just going to square up that card with the rest of the deck as I rub it, again consensually. And seemingly their card has now somehow appeared. In that little performance, all I did was I just lifted two cards here and showed Of course, that's impossible because your card is in the middle of the deck. Of course, this is just 2 cards that I'm holding in my dirty right hand. I turned over the pack and I performed an airbrush change, which is this little action over here. So all I'm doing there is I have 2 cards in my hand. As I flex the cards, all I do is I push it with my thumb. And you have a nice little effect of a color change. Look at that. So I'm pushing this 8 of clubs flush with the pack as I smear it with my thumb. So all in all, it just looks like this. This is actually the face-up startler change, by the way. It's not the airbrush change. It's the face-up startler from some Marlowe book that he wrote while he was screwing his wife. Leave in the comment section below how you think Ed Marlowe had sex with his wife. I think he was a straight mish guy. I think it was a mish guy. And then eventually, when it came to some sort of anniversary, he flipped that bitch over. He'd give her the tilt, if you know what I mean. See, that's a funny joke if you know card tricks. But if you don't know card tricks, that joke's going to seem like I bombed. So it's a fun little control. It's a good one. It's reminiscent of these ones where you have to deposit a card. Oftentimes, you have to have a break here and then deposit the card here. You're doing the opposite. You're doing the opposite. You're actually taking the card with you for the fan. Just a little bit of a tidbit here at the end of the video. We just ran a very successful Kickstarter campaign. If you are somebody that's backed it, that happens to be a fan of PigCake and you watch my videos, we're waiting for the funds to come to us, which takes 2 weeks after the campaign, and then the bank has to release it. And then we're going to start the fulfillment process of actually acquiring all the goodies, seeing what we could do to improve the props, and then hopefully shipping it out to you guys before Christmas. So that's going to happen with the Psychic Survival Kit that I've worked on with Peter Turner. And then also I have that project that you're more than welcome to check out that I actually recorded with him in the context of that Psychic Survival Kit, which is the Turner effect. It's his take on what happens when he's handed a deck of playing cards. I've seen him do it a million times at conventions where somebody hands him a pack and he's able to perform burglars effect style tricks. He's able to perform psychological forces and these stop timing things that are just unbelievable. And that's all explained in the Turner effects. So I hope you guys enjoyed that if you guys procured it. And if not, you should, because it keeps a roof over my head. But for those of you guys that have been along this entire time and have actually watched the video in its entirety, I guess I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. After you pee, you should always use a little bit of toilet paper, right? Just to pat it out. Because what happens sometimes is that you think all the pees come out and then you put your wiener inside of your underwear and then you get a little drip. And if you're wearing, I don't know, blue athletic shorts, they're going to see a little perfect wet spot on your knob and you don't want that.